Alright, it's time we get into tower stages 7, 8 and 9. Obviously you get once more a team that can clear epic only / with 3 legendaries like Volker, Abomination and Micah that can clear everything to as high a degree as really reasonable. And then you obviously get the full clear team going 16 out of 16. And yeah, for our very first stage, this is one of the stages where I say reasonable because this stage is just plain annoying. We'll be going with reduced number by 3 and 2 times the HP gone. So it's only a 10 out of 16 and this is the team. Though for the team, it is relatively simple and you should be able to find a couple replacements. So what you're going to need is 2 AoE mages with magic damage. So we've picked Abizu and Iona. Then you need 2 tanks, in this case it's going to be Isolde and Oleg, a fighter that does damage, so in this case Wrath, and then we have Vortex as like another source of healing, same with Hollow, but I think Hollow and Vortex in the combination are probably a bit overkill. So let's get straight into the stage, and the way we do this is by placing Iona at the very beginning, at the top right there, facing downwards. And then we just let time go. So Iona starts laying into these guys. And as soon as Iona's ultimate is ready, you just trigger her ultimate straight away. So like this. And then you bring in Oleg to tank. So Iona should be able to take care of, it depends, either all of them or one of those get through. But it doesn't really affect you in any way. So that is the time we bring in Wrath. Wrath is going to start dealing with the tentacle. And Oleg deals his 1300 damage per basic attack like a very, very nice and reliable steady ally. So this is done, which means we'll be going in with the Bizu. Like I said, it could honestly be any AoE mage. The important part is just that they do AoE and magic damage mainly for these big shield carrying guys at the end there. So next up we bring in Vortex, so Vortex to ensure Oleg doesn't die and also to heal up Iona, because these guys might actually hit her a bit too much, which we do not really want. So another ultimate, another kill on the left side, and here we'll be bringing in Hollow. So Hollow is going to give some more healing, make Vortex unkillable, and overall just give us some more rage regen that we can use on Abizu. Now here we'll be activating Oleg's ultimate to increase his block by 1 and then place Isolde behind just to ensure that nothing goes wrong. So Abizu comes in, Abizu does her kills, and we are back down to 2 enemies facing there. Once more, as soon as Iona's ultimate is ready, we trigger hers and we bring in Wrath to finish the job. Alright, next up we can once more activate Oleg's ultimate to increase his block a bit, trigger Hollow to give some more rage to Abizu, and that's already the stage done. It's pretty much a very safe way to do this without any real RNG or any struggle, because honestly this stage is super annoying, especially if you want to try to go for higher scores. We could probably go for like a 12 or 14 team epic only, but it's just too much of a hassle, honestly. Here you go, stage 7, 16 out of 16 version, and yeah, we have Magnus, Vierna, Vortex and Wrath. Honestly, Vierna is tailor-made for the stage. Alright, yeah, here we go straight into the stage. So we have obviously Vierna for her executes, because she's really nice to take care of the left side all by herself, and then we just need to worry about the right one. So obviously Vierna at 20 in, and then at 17 it's time for us to bring in Magnus. There we go. And we will fast forward time a bit once more. And then execute all of them right there. On to some more time fast forwarding. And as soon as we hit 16, it's Rav's big moment. So we put in Wrath to take care of the tentacle. So one really nice part about Magnus is that he has rather nice amount of HP and obviously also a nice amount of attack, and that really comes to shine in this mode where it's rather limited stat wise. So as soon as Magnus gets hit first, that's when we bring in Vortex. And then Wrath should be able to take care of this tentacle and we can remove him. Alright, so far so good. When this second mage is actually closing in, that's when we activate Magnus' ultimate. So we can do some damage against the mage and also against the tentacle dude. And before these guys escape Viana's range, that's when we use her execute once more. So now Vortex can obviously fresh up Magnus, Viana can take care of the mage on the left side to a certain extent. And the healer obviously also gets killed. Alright, so right here we can bring in Wrath for reinforcements to actually start doing some damage. Alright, and here we go with Vortex's ultimate, just to ensure that Magnus gets a little bit more health. And then Viana's execute to take care of all these annoying enemies. Vortex can once more try to freshen up Magnus a bit. And then by the time these mages close in, that's when we activate Magnus' ultimate. So we deal some extra AoE damage against the mages. And then we should be able to kill one of them before they actually move past him. So there we go. Which only leaves us with the healer and the mage. And at that point you can hit the fast forward and that is the stage cleared. Now, what would be the key elements? Honestly, I feel like the key elements are definitely Viana or a sufficiently strong AoE mage to take care of the enemies on the left side every single time. And then probably you really want to take out the tentacle because you only have 2 tiles on the left side and then 2 tiles in the middle if you just take the if you just don't take it out. So yeah, that's stage done and on to the next one. Alright, so here we go, stage 8, 14 out of 16. And yeah, it is basically the only reason why we can't do the 16 out of 16 is because Lunaria isn't strong enough. Alright, yeah, so here we go, time for the stage, and we just start off at 2 times speed and bring in Lunaria. So there's going to be 2 areas to focus on, the area down here and the area at the top. This team is pretty close when it comes to the way it works to the 16 out of 16 team, but Lunaria sadly just isn't strong enough to take care of all the enemies by herself. So for the charging guys, the way we deal with them is by placing in Decimus. So Decimus in, and for Decimus can actually kill one of these guys. So as soon as one of those dies, you can take him out. And we'll be putting in Daemon. Daemon out. And then we fast forward time. So the reason why you need to pay special attention to the top there is because we need to deal with this exploding bug. So the way we do that is by waiting for the exploding bug to actually get close to exploding, I guess. And then we place on an Aatrox in front. Aatrox gets stunned, the units get stunned, but Aatrox actually does some nice magic damage against them. So here we go with Decimus. Decimus for the block. Obviously the extra magic damage at the top isn't needed there. It is just quite helpful for the run here. You could also just block him with anyone else. And then here we go in. And we place down Daemon. So a mistake I made here is you actually want to remove Aatrox, so we save ourselves that extra 3 cost, which I didn't do. And then we just bring in Iona here. So next step is going to be once more, wait for the bomber to close in, place down Aatrox, and then have him do the damage again. Here we didn't wait long enough. So because we didn't wait long enough, these guys aren't going to take as much damage, but it's still going to be fine. So if you wait for exactly the moment of the explosion, you know that you're going to be able to hit all of them. So guy comes in, we place down Decimus. Decimus is going to kill the one guy, and as soon as he does, you can take him out. And then we'll just be going with Daemon once more. Daemon in, everybody dies. Here we'll be actually taking out Aatrox. And now this is the part where it gets funky. This is the part where it gets funky. So these 4 charger guys, for the very first one, we'll be bringing in Decimus. Let them do their stuff, charge into him. Decimus is going to kill one of them. And then, after the collision happens, you take out Decimus. If you take out Decimus, these guys are going to walk in the same pace. And if they walk in the same pace, you can also kill them with the same unit. So I'll just show it to you with Aatrox here. We placed on Aatrox, everyone dies. And then we just use Iona's ultimate to do like this massive amount of damage, and then Lunaria to finish all of these guys off. So yeah, this is how you can clear this stage, and you see a bit of a different approach on the 16 out of 16 version. Alright, here we go. This is stage 8, 16 out of 16. Daemon, Aatrox, Decimus and Valkyra. Alright, here we go, time for the stage, and the way we'll be doing it is by using Valkyra for the bottom lane. I'm sure there's going to be a couple units you could also swap in to do it, but the important part is they need to be able to solo, rather in a decent amount of time, take care of these guys. And this is just why we're going to be using Valkyra. And with these rock guys, we let them charge in, and we'll be using Decimus. So Decimus with the invulnerability to make them lose 80% HP. There we go. And then Decimus can actually kill one of them, which is a really helpful piece of information. So we use Aatrox for the first guy to die. Fast forward time so Valkyra can take care of the bottom lane. And now there's going to be 2 places to pay attention to. The action timer of these exploding ones and this down here. Those are like the 2 things we actually need to pay attention to. So that's what we'll be doing. As soon as the action timer hits 0, we'll be placing Aatrox in front. So he stuns a lot, and then we can take Aatrox out once more. Now for these guys at the bottom, as soon as that guy is closing in, we'll be placing down Decimus. Decimus takes care of one of them, Decimus out. And then Daemon in this time. Once more, we fast forward time, and then as soon as this one again hits 0, that is when we use Aatrox to once more stun the enemies. So right here, action bar goes towards 0, Aatrox in, Aatrox out. And then here, by the time they close in, I kind of just try to avoid that first shot, so that Decimus has like full health. Here we get to deal with 3 enemies, so the way we do that is by waiting for Decimus to kill one of them, and then we can remove him. Using Daemon once more, and Valkyra should be able to do her job just fine. Obviously if you're using someone else, you might have to activate an ultimate in between, but this is going to be this is going to be the final wave, and the way we do it is by taking care of the first guy, letting the second guy crash in, and then the third. and then we remove Decimus so that these two guys walk in the same pace and the other one walks a little bit in front, and then we place down Daemon straight into the middle of them to kill all of them at the same time. Aatrox in front of the healer dudes, and then Aatrox being stunned does some extra magic damage in an area around him, so we can weaken those guys, and then we just use Volcra to take out these ones. Then we can fast forward time, and it's GG. So yeah, this is how you beat stage 8, 16 out of 16, taking care of the left side. Alright, yeah, here we go. Stage 9, 14 out of 16 using epics only. We have obviously the extra 2 spaces. So, if anyone is wondering, oh, what the hell is Bruno doing there? The answer is bland favoritism, easy and simple. Alright, yeah, so here we go straight into the stage, and we'll actually be opening it up with Idril. So Idril first to lay into that first mage there. And then after Idril, we'll be bringing in Brienne. Next up, we bring in Bruno to take care of this left side unit. And then Idril's ultimate to help out with the mage. And then bring in Vortex to get everyone back up to health. Alright, so as soon as all the enemies are there, you can activate Brienne's ultimate. And then we bring in Lunaria on the left over here. So right there, right here, we just fast forward time, wait for Lunaria to actually be able to hit this mage reliably, and then after the mage we'll be placing in Daemon. And then Daemon plus Lunaria are going to be able to take care of him. And if not, we always still have Idril's ultimate before it ends. So next off, we just bring in Isolde at the bottom there, kind of as like a security measure. Here we go with her ultimate. And then we just fast forward time. So yeah, like honestly, Bruno is just there for like pure favoritism. It has nothing really to do with the fact that he's the only one that can do it. He's just there because I wanted him to be there. So yeah, Daemon to stun that guy long enough for Lunaria to put in some work. And if you're having trouble with killing them, you can place Lunaria one tile down, which gives her a longer time to actually hit these guys. And here we bring in Daemon. He would also have walked back into her range. But like I said, it is probably more beneficial if you just place Lunaria one tile down. But there you go, 18 out of 18. This is the spirit, and yes, Bruno is a very expensive one-hitting unit for this kind of scenario. Alright, yeah, here we are for the very final stage. The team we'll be going with is Lunaria, Razak, Boreas, and Vortex. So yeah, honestly, I don't... Lunaria probably isn't as needed, but she is quite nice to have. You can probably swap out a couple units. The key figure is going to be Boreas though, and it also kind of reminds you of why they had to, in the gear dungeon, specify that units were immune to freeze, because you would actually be very, very strong there. And also it kind of is the only way for them to show that Boreas truly got nerfed with his nerfs, because he is still very much a beast. So right here, we'll be going with Boreas' ultimate. And then put in Razak. So next goal is going to be activating Razak's ultimate. And then bringing in Vortex. Here that basically kind of plays itself in a sense. As you can see, yeah, nobody is really in any danger of anything happening and Lunaria helps out. Razak again in with the ultimate. Boop. And here we actually wait for these guys to close in and then use Boreas for the final freeze and the extra damage. So enemies close in. We wait a bit because we do have the time to wait, and then we just go with the final Boreas ultimate, just so we can ensure that nothing goes wrong at the end here. And this is how you clear the very final stage of Tower using only A0 legendaries and epics. Yeah, honestly Boreas is pretty strong here. There's a couple variations. You'll maybe be able to find another tutorial on YouTube how to do this stage 9. I hope you do, if you do not have Boreas. And yeah, as always, has been an interesting journey to do this. And yeah, we see each other in the next one. Bye bye.